You can just about see our train chugging down the line. Next up is our final section covering scenery features. This is where we really get creative and in the process bring our entire layout together. We'll call on a variety of materials you can get from any hobby shop or home building supply center. We'll show you how to create a lifelike hill out of foam, how to sculpt a rock face and color it. You'll learn how to simulate water, build roads, and plant trees. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get started. We'll begin at the gravel plant. Since the track roadbed wouldn't be raised at the plant like it is on the main line, Dick is going to build up the foundation for our structure to get an authentic look. That's what model railroading is all about, and scenery is a big part of achieving scale realism. After marking the location of the structure on the foam, we'll cut sheets of cork to size and stack them to the correct height. You can find sheet cork at your local hobby shop. Build up the area marked earlier, and don't forget the area between the spur tracks. It doesn't have to be perfect because later we'll use plaster to create a nice finished slope around our cork foundation. Before gluing the cork in place, position the structure to make sure everything lines up. Time for the liquid nails for projects and the old caulk gun. Again, we're using an adhesive that is foam friendly. In other words, it won't eat away the foam when applied. While our glue dries, we can move to another part of our layout. The Madison Central plan calls for some rolling hills located near our gravel company. We'll use layers of styrofoam to build our hills, and Dick will start by marking and cutting a paper pattern for the shape of the first hill. There are several varieties of foam board available from your local building supply center, and here we're using the same 1-inch foam we used for our tabletop. In one corner of your sheet, transfer the shape of the pattern to the foam. Here Dick is using a drywall saw to make the cuts. Cut on an angle just like we did for our sloping lake shoreline. After cutting, put the base piece back onto your layout to make sure it fits. That's it. Perfect. Repeat the same steps to cut 2 more layers for our hill, each one patterned on the layer below. Remember to cut each piece from a corner of our foam sheet. That way the edges will align nicely with the corner of the table. Now we'll move to the hill between the main line and the gravel company spur tracks. Create a paper pattern like we did earlier and cut the base layer from the foam sheet. A little trimming may be necessary to get the shape you want. Don't worry, we'll be shaping the hills later, so you don't have to be too precise. As the plaster starts to set up, work it into a vertical wall. Before the plaster is completely dry, use an X-Acto knife to score the face of the wall both horizontally and vertically. This makes a realistic-looking rock form that will look great once it's painted and we put ground cover on our hills. While our rock face dries, let's build some roads. We'll be using a road building kit from Woodland Scenics. This step is exciting because you really begin to see your layout take shape. Start by placing your completed structures on the table. Determine and mark their final positions on the foam. For Main Street, Dick has measured for 2 lanes of traffic and parking lanes in front of the shops. In HO scale, this comes to about 6 inches. Using a straight edge, draw the roads onto the foam.